Hello and welcome to a special election Brexit update. It's Friday the 13th of December. Unlucky for some, but not for the Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who has today secured a majority in Parliament of almost 80 seats. To put that in context, it's the largest majority for the Conservative Party since 1987 under the Prime Ministership of Margaret Thatcher. And it's the worst defeat for the Labour Party since 1935. Now, following the results this morning, the leader of the Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn, has said that he will no longer be leading and we expect him to stand down in the near future. Jo Swinson, the former leader of the Liberal Democrat Party, lost her seat last night. Of course, the Liberal Democrat Party were campaigning on revoking Article 50 and cancelling Brexit. Meanwhile, Nicola Sturgeon, leader of the Scottish Nationalist Party, saw significant gains in Scotland. This is on the back of her call for an independence referendum on Scotland breaking away from the rest of the UK. So what happens next? Well, on Thursday we expect a Queen's speech for the opening of Parliament. This will be a relatively slimmed down version compared to 2 months ago. On Friday, we expect the government to bring back the legislation implementing the agreement that was reached between Boris Johnson and the EU 2 months ago. The government are aiming to get MPs to vote on that legislation before Christmas, with the aim of the legislation being put into law in January, allowing the UK to leave the EU by the 31st of January and keeping to the pledge made by the Prime Minister Boris Johnson. So it's most likely that the UK will be leaving the EU by the end of January. As part of the deal, we will then enter a transition period that runs until the end of 2020. For British people in the UK, you will not notice many differences. There will still be the free movement of people and goods. For EU nationals living in the UK, the rules will remain unchanged during 2020, with free movement continuing and EU nationals being able to work in the UK as before. During 2020, the UK government and the EU will start negotiating on stage 2 of Brexit. This is really about the UK's trade relationship for the future with the EU. Now, that deal needs to be agreed by the EU and the UK Parliament and potentially by each EU member state. It's widely believed that securing a future trade agreement with the EU by the end of December 2020 is unlikely. Now, this could mean that a year from now we could be talking about a separate no-deal situation. So that could be a bit of déjà vu for me and you. All I can say now is thank you so much for listening. It's been a pleasure giving you these updates over the last year. If you have any questions, please do get in contact, and I look forward to speaking to you in the future.